So we have all the data, what it is, where it is trading every day from the last so many years. So we have that data available. Using the data, can we see any patterns that are forming? And from the patterns that are forming, can we forecast the future? Right? Can we forecast what is going to happen tomorrow, next week, next month? If that is possible, using the technical analysis, probably we could trade and make some money, right? Now, what is the difference between technical analysis and fundamental analysis? Pretty much everybody knows, right? But just in case there are, newcomers here who are pretty new to the market, okay? Fundamental analysis basically, which is raw side. What do they do? Basically, what they will look at the quarter results, okay? They will look at the sector. We will look at the specific sector and analyze stock, how it is performing. Based on that, we will get whether invest or not, right? But technical analysis has nothing to do with about the quarter results or the sector, how the economy is doing, what is happening on the economic side. We are only based on the price, what we see on the chart. The price, how it is organized on the chart. Based on that, we will try to analyze if we can see any patterns that are emerging, and from using that, we will try to forecast the future. Okay. Now comes to the time frame. Now, what time frame do we trade in, or what time frame you want to take a position in? Is it intraday, daily, weekly, or monthly, right? So let's say, for example, somebody asked about, let's say, Reliance. I have never seen a chart of Reliance, okay? You have never seen a chart of Reliance. Now, you don't know nothing about what they do, what kind of products they make, or what kind of business they are into. But by looking at the chart, you should be able to analyze how the Reliance stock performs over the year. Okay. So what I call is zoom out view. So first take a look at the monthly chart. If possible, take a look at the monthly chart. Let me show. Can you guys see the Reliance chart? Can anybody say yes? Can you guys see the Reliance chart? Can you see it on the screen? Prajwal, can you see it? Yes, cool. Okay, here the software I'm using probably it gives only two years data, but on another one you can see pretty much like 10, 15, 20 years, right? By looking at this, you can figure out where the price was over the years, how it is been moving. Okay. So initially we look at the monthly chart, then zoom in a little bit more. You look at the weekly chart. Zoom in a little bit more. You will look at the daily chart, right? Further, zoom into intraday, 60 minutes, 15 minutes. It's about depending upon the time frame you want to trade in. You can zoom in and analyze. Okay. So any chart, any stock you want to trade in, right? It's better to have a zoom out overview of the chart. So initially, it's better to take a look at the weekly chart, the monthly chart, if possible monthly chart, if not weekly chart, at least a weekly chart. Take a look at it and see where it was previously. From that, you come to a conclusion whether it was in a bull market or bear market, where it is trading right now. You will get a bigger picture. Okay. Rather than trading, let's say somebody says Titan, just open this and go take a bullish position or a bearish position, right? So you take a look at the weekly chart, come to a conclusion. This is a bullish chart. Okay. Now, once the time frame is decided, right now, how this market data you see on the chart. There are different types of charts available, right? Bar chart, what else? line chart is also there. The very basic one is line chart and the bar chart. A lot of people still use bar chart, but the most widely used is candlestick chart, right? Since a lot of the people in our group are very new to trading, and they have to talk about the candlestick, and which is I think it is very 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 essential to understand what each candlestick represents, right? Each candle. What is a candle? You look at the candle here, right? You see a green candle, a red candle. Each candle represents certain amount of data depending upon the time frame we are talking about. Let's say, for example, we are talking about daily time frame, right? So the daily time frame means each candle will represent where it has traded the previous day, right? If you are talking about a weekly chart, this single candle will represent where it has traded in the last week. The entire week data will be represented in one single candle. Okay. Now, obviously, based on the color, we can tell whether it is a bullish candle or a bearish candle. Obviously, in still some of the software, they still use like black and white. So in that case, a bull candle will be represented with a hollow or white color. A bear candle will be represented with a solid color, which is a black. Okay, we are still for some reason using those black and white charts, but usually everybody nowadays use color charts. So obviously green candle is bullish and red candle is bearish. Okay, just quickly go through what each candle represents and what these lines are, right? The upper line and the line down there. Pretty much clear here. Each candle, the green candle opened here. That means, let's say, for example, the Bank Nifty opened at 25,000. This is the opening price. Okay. After it has opened at this price, what happened during the day? Let's say you didn't trade yesterday. Now you look at this candle, you could figure out what happened yesterday. Okay. Just by looking at it, taking a quick glance, you can say where it has opened and where it has moved to the maximum possible side on the upside. This is the maximum where it has traded that day. How low did it go during that day? Assuming this was a daily candle, right? How low did it go during that day? This is the lowest, that is the low of the day, and where it has closed. Okay, so this is where it closed. Opened here, moved all the way up, moved all the way down, 3 points, and closed here. Okay, the closing price was greater than the opening price. That's why it was a bullish candle, green color. Only difference is opened here and closed at the lowest level, right? I mean, not at the lowest level, but lower than the opening price. Okay, so that's why it is a red candle, a bearish candle. Okay, so this is a bullish candle, opening price here, closing price here. This is called upper shadow, lower shadow, or they are also referred as wicks, the upper wick, lower wick. Okay, this is the main real body. Okay, obviously the longer the body is, the more bullish it is. But the smaller the body is, there is some kind of indecisiveness on that specific day, or depending upon what candle you are looking at. Okay, let's quickly look at the different types of candles, right? By looking at the candles itself, you can gauge the mood in the market, how bullish it is or how bearish it is, or is there indecisiveness in the market. Market can decide whether it want to go up or down, right? So I won't be covering all the candles existing out there, but we'll quickly go through the important candles that we come across every day, which can be used in our trading, right? The hammer candle, this is one of the beautiful candles. Just based on this, you can make an entry. A lot of people still miss this. I don't understand. When you are trading, right, you should be able to figure out the moment you see a hammer candle, what obviously by the look of it, right? By the look of it, you can tell looks like a hammer, right? It just looks like a hammer. Okay. Now, what it represents? I mean, what can you figure out just by looking at this candle? Okay. I mean, here in this case, it is red in color. Obviously, that means it's opened here. Okay. Went all the way down. Okay. Went all the way down. That means bull, bear initially tried to sell as much as possible that day, assuming this was a daily candle. Okay. But what happened? It reversed immediately on that specific day itself. Okay. Let's say, for example, it opened here. Okay. Bear tried to sell that specific day. It went all the way down. Okay. Sell throughout the day. But on the specific day itself, bulls came into the picture, but aggressively. So it came back all the way up and closed somewhere here. Let's assume this is a green candle. Then this will be the closing price. Okay, this is the opening price. If it is a red candle, obviously this is a opening price, closing price. But the color doesn't matter. But what the story it is telling, that is very important, right? What it is telling, bear tried to take the charge initially, tried to sell, but bulls came back into the picture. Okay, bulls came back into the picture, rallied all the way back up. Okay, so the longer the wick, the more convincing you can be, right? Because you can see the power of the bulls. The power of the bulls is how much aggressively they came into the picture and bought that specific day, whatever the instrument was. It can apply to any instrument, right? The beautiful thing is you can apply this to any instrument. It can be stocks, index, bonds, currency, anything. The moment you look at the candle, you can just observe what happened to the price on that specific day. You don't know the picture, what happened to the currency, what happened to the economy, what happened to the interest rate, doesn't matter. You don't bother about it. You can directly tell bulls came back and bought it aggressive. Okay, this is one of the very, very, very important picture. I mean, very important candle. See here, this is the day it's going down. This is one candle. Assume this is one candle. It's going down. But the moment you see the hammer, you can look to take a long position, right? What is the advantage here? Taking a long position. You can keep a stop loss somewhere below this, assuming the base won't be able to take it down below this price. Okay, you can take a entry here, assuming bulls will take it further up. So this is one of the very, very important candles. Next. On the chart side. Just give me a second. Okay. So there is a single candle formation, right? The next one is, this is also one of the very, very, very important formations. That was a single candle. This is a dual candle formation. It's called bullish engulfing. Okay, this is a very important candle which tells a story about how bulls took charge. Now, what is a bullish engulfing candle? Engulfing meaning what? It covered the entire previous candle. Previous candle you see here. Okay, a small body candle. It can be a, usually it will be a red candle. Okay, that's when the reverse in the market happens. Okay, so this is a small red candle. You see now what happened here. Let's assume, just for the sake of it, assume market is selling off like this. Okay, and you see a candle here. After this, what happened is the next day they try to sell off. Okay, but again bulls come into the picture, bought it aggressively. Okay, overcome the entire previous day's price. Okay, it went below the previous day's price low. This was the previous day low, right? This was the previous day low. So initially it sold off, went below the previous day low, but again bulls came into the picture, bought it hardly, and overcome the previous day high. Overcome the previous day high. Okay. So this entire one single candle engulfed, okay, the previous day candle. That is what the name bullish engulfing candle. The result gives a very good picture that bulls are taking charge again after this initial sell-off. Okay, this two candle formation can give you a hint saying that okay, bulls might be taking charge from here on. Hopefully, it will move like this, right? So if you can take an entry somewhere here, probably next day. Okay, if you see on the chart in the previous day these two candle formation, you can take an entry the moment the price is over this price. You can take an entry and stop loss below this, right? Stop loss below this. That will give you a beautiful entry because this gave you a picture, right? From this you can conclude that bulls might be coming into the picture and this sell-off will be completed and then the rally continues. Okay, this is the another candle formation, bullish engulfing. Next is the three candle formation, morning star. Okay, we have seen a single candle formation, hammer. The second one is bullish engulfing. That is a two candle formation. The third one is morning star. This is a three candle formation. Okay, again the same picture. Here, I mean, don't concentrate on the name. Concentrate on what those candles are trying to tell you. The story behind those candles. If you can understand the story behind those candles, you don't have to remember the name. But you know, any candle similar to that, from that you can conclude what is happening in the market, right? So that is what basically is important thing. Understand what is happening in the price. Okay, here the market is selling off, and this is one first day. The second day, what happened is, you see the gap. Okay, it gapped down. Some news or some rumor in the market or some anticipation. With some anticipation, let's assume this Monday morning market gapped down, right? But there was no decisive sell-off. There is no decisive sell-off that day. And what happened Tuesday? The bulls came back and bought it aggressively, and the moment the price is above this line, you can take a long entry. What happened here? The sell-off is there. There was a gap down. Okay. If there is enough selling pressure in the market, when it opened with a gap down, it should have continued this downtrend. If the gap down open, if there is enough selling pressure, it should have continued down. But what happened the next day? Bulls came back in a gap up open. You see the gap up open here, and they took charge with a higher close. Okay, so these three candle formation is referred as a morning star. The name doesn't matter, but understand what is happening in these 3 days. What happened in these 3 days? The sell-off, gap down, but then on the third day, bulls came back and bought it aggressively. That means this selling is coming to an end. Bulls might be coming into picture. So you can take an entry above this price, keep a stop loss below it. Okay. Let's say next 4 or 5 candles, 4 or 5 days, 4, 5, 15-minute candle. Doesn't matter, right? You can apply this logic to a 5-minute candle, 1-minute candle. Hope not hope you're not trading on a 1-minute based candle. That is not suggested at all. At least a 5-minute candle or 3-minute candle or 15, 30 minutes based on your criteria. Okay? But the story is same. The story is same. But the higher the time frame is, hopefully the daily candle, you will get a better picture of what is happening in the market. Okay? Those three, what are those three? Hammer, bullish engulfing, and morning star. Right? Those three are, I think those three are the very important things. And there are many more out there. Okay? Once you understand this, probably if you are interested, you can start, checking this. Online you can find many places where you can, figure out and learn about those things. Okay? But these three, I think, are very, very important. So these are on the bullish side. Okay? The bearish side. On the bearish side, what is the reverse of hammer is called? Shooting star. Okay? Hammer is just reverse of the hammer. What the hammer told, it is a completely opposite story. So this was the hammer. What happened in the hammer? Market tried to sell off. Okay? And bulls came back and bought it aggressively on the same day. Let's say if it is a 5 minutes and during a 5-minute candle. If it is 60 minutes, during the 60 minutes, what happened? Right? This is the opposite here. What happened here initially? Bulls trying to take control, bought it aggressively, so price moved all the way high. Okay? So let's say here, price is moving like this. Bulls bought it aggressively, but on the same specific day, whatever the candle you are referring to, on the same specific time frame, bears come back into the picture, sold it aggressively. So it went all the way high. This is the high of that specific day, but sold aggressively, closed pretty much close to the opening price. Let's say, for example, this is the opening price, and this is the closing price. Okay? Maximize power part screen. Okay. So this is also giving you basic information that bulls tried to take charge, but bears came into the picture on that day, right? So with this stop loss, you can take a bearish position, right? Assuming from this point onwards, market will be going down. Why? This gave you a hint, right? This gave you a hint saying that this was previously it was moving up, but on this specific day, bears came into the picture, sold the market aggressively, and this shooting star is telling you that it could probably be going down. Remember, this is only probability game. We are assuming, we are saying probably it will be going down. We can never say it will go down from tomorrow. Okay? Don't ever play that game. It might probably will be going down. That is the reason, to be on the safe side, you will keep a stop loss here. Okay? If your assumption is right, it will move down, you will make more money. But if this proves you wrong, you will get out with some small loss. Okay? Okay. Like the bullish engulfing, the two candle formation on the bear side is the bearish engulfing, right? This is pretty much self-explanatory by now, right? We have seen the bullish side. This is the bearish side. Okay. What happened here? The bullish side came down. Okay. In this one single candle, bulls took charge. Okay, and overcome the entire price range of the previous day, engulfed entire previous candle. This one single candle engulfed entire previous candle. So that gave you the picture saying that bulls will be bulls might be taking charge from now onwards, and hopefully it will be going up. So this will be your stop loss, right? Opposite to that is a bearish engulfing. So in this point it is going up. Okay, you see all the green candles, but on this specific day, the price went above this previous candle, let's say this previous close, right? So it went above the previous close. So let's say the moment it opened, it went up aggressively, and somebody started selling it aggressively. It came down all the way and went below the previous day entire price range and closed below the entire previous day's price range. So this is the closing price. This is the opening price, right? This is the opening price. This is the closing price. This entire this single day price action is telling you that this bullish action now nullified, right? This bullish action nullified, and your assumption is probably bears will take control from here. Okay, so you can take the moment the price goes below. The moment the price goes below this price range, you can take a bearish position with your specific stop loss. Now, what is the advantage, right? In any of these single or two or three candle formations, right? This is giving you an entry point where you can enter. This is giving you a logical exit also, just in case market proves you wrong, right? People always ask, like, should I exit? Should I exit? Now, when you are taking a position, right, first thing is you should know why you are taking that position. Do you see any logic on the chart based on which you are taking the position, or somebody gave you a tip or somebody, or just your intuition? Okay, but your intuition should have some logic, right? The logic in here is bullish engulfing candle. You see that you are assuming bullish will resume. The advantage here is you got the entry point. You also know where your stop loss is. The moment, let's say for example, for some reason something happened, Trump said some bullshit, market is going down. Now you know this is your stop loss. You will not be asking questions. You will not be hoping, praying. You will get out here. The moment it comes down, your logic has been proven wrong by the market for whatever the reason. Reason doesn't matter. Okay, for some reason it changed the direction again. So you can exit immediately. You don't have to ask anybody. The moment the price comes below this price, market is telling you that, okay, your assumption is wrong. Now you don't argue with the market, you don't argue with your wife, right? So you don't argue with the market, learn that quickly. The sooner you learn, the lesser money you will lose. Okay. The next is I can't go to the next slide. Morning star, obviously the evening star, right? The three candle formation. By this time, it is pretty self-explanatory, isn't it? This is a bullish trend. What was the morning star? You see the red candle, gap down, open on the second day. But on the third day, what happened? Again, gap up, open, bulls took charge, right? This is the morning star. You are going down. This three candle is telling you the story that bulls are coming back into the picture. You could be taking a long position. Just opposite to that is the bearish side. Okay. So far it was going up. This is a beautiful green day, and gap up, open on the second day. Okay. Again, this logic could be applied to any time frame, 15 minutes, 30 minutes, weekly chart, monthly chart, doesn't matter. Okay, the logic is same for any chart, any instrument. So on the second day it gapped up, but on the third day it reversed. It gapped down. Okay, this was a gap up on the second day. On the third day it gapped down. It's not about the gapping down on the third day. Where it closed on the third day was telling you the entire picture. Okay? Where it closed on the third day is giving you the entire picture that market could be changing the trend. That is where we take the position, right? Where you anticipate the existing trend is going to change, that's when you take a position, and this gives you a logical stop loss. Let's say for some reason market decides to go up again. This is where you can keep some stop loss. Don't put exactly where it is, right? Lot of times stops can be run over and can reverse. So just keep it little above those previous candles, little below this previous candle, little above this higher this candle, right? So you are assuming you can take the movement on the fourth day, or let's say if you are taking a 5-minute candle, right? 5, 6, 10, 15. So on the 16th minute, just in case this goes down below this price, you can take a short position. You can keep a stop loss here. Okay. So these three candles on the bullish side, the same, or on the bearish side, I feel are very, very important to know, and gives you where the trend could be changing, right? You get a pretty good understanding about if the market could be changing trend from this time onwards. Okay, these are the three candles I thought of sharing with you guys today. And there are like here you could be asking what is doji. I'm sure today most of you guys know it, but just in case, otherwise you can search and learn about the other candlestick formations. Okay, these three I think are very, very, very useful during the intraday trading also, especially the hammer, bullish engulfing, are mostly you will come across every day. Just to see I thought of sharing a few charts we can figure out just in case we are newbie to the market, right? This is the State Bank of India chart. This is, I believe this is a daily chart. I forgot to mention, sorry. Yes, this is a daily chart, July, August, and September, this number. This is where it ended on Friday, right? Now what are the candles you can observe here, right? Here, what do we see here? Can anybody share on the chat? What do we see here? What is this called? Anybody? What is this two candle formation? This is bullish engulfing, right? You see the down trend, isn't it? This is the down trend, right? Now we will be, see, irrespective of you are not in the picture, you are not looking at this, right? All this time, but the moment you see this one single candle, okay, this one single candle is engulfed the entire previous day, okay. Of course, you will be also looking at the market context, where the market is, and what is your viewpoint on the market, and what is your viewpoint on the sector. All this will come into picture. But even assume you don't care about all those also, but just based on this specific single chart. So this is a bullish candle. Hopefully, also I forgot to mention about the volume. Okay, but in any of these candles, whether it is a hammer or a bullish engulfing candle, please pay attention to the volume on that specific day. On this hammer formation or even the bullish engulfing, if the volume is higher than the previous day's average or previous time frame's average, that will be even better. The odds will be more favorable to you. Okay, that means more bulls came into the picture with more power. Okay, so this will be your stop loss. You can take a long position. Gave you such a beautiful trade. Of course, the challenge is not getting on here. Challenge obviously for all of it will be what? Holding on to the trade, which is a winning trade. This is the one trade who can develop only can be a successful trader. Okay. Anybody can look at this chart and say this is a bullish engulfing candle, right? Even if you teach this to your children, right? The moment they look at it, they will say This is a bullish engulfing candle. Buy it here. That's all we can say. Anybody can look at it. You will buy it here. The challenge is, if the trade is working in your favor, the moment it comes to here, what will you do? You will book your profit, get out. But you don't let your winner run. That is the one challenge you have to go. We have to overcome. As a trader, when the trade is working in your favor, trade the stop loss, keep it running until it runs. Right? Whenever you get such a beautiful trade, you don't come across this every day, right? But whenever we come across this, we have to make maximum money when possible. Okay? What do we see here? Again, the two candle formation, right? Now you got here. Now where do you exit? Obviously, you can exit a lot of places. But just for understanding of the candles that we are learning today, right? Just for the sake of help in knowing why down before those bullish, why down there, why down before those bullish. It doesn't matter. See, listen here. We don't need to know why it has happened like that. Okay? What we are trying to understand for now. Okay? This is what we are trying by looking at this. Let's assume your viewpoint on State Bank of India is bullish. Let's assume. Okay? Let's assume this is a daily chart. Okay? What we discussed before, you have to look for the monthly chart and the weekly chart. Okay? So you already analyzed the weekly chart, monthly chart, and you are very, very, very bullish on the State Bank of India. Okay? Now you are waiting for an entry. You are waiting for taking an entry. You don't want to buy it here, right? You don't want to take a random entry. Okay? You look for the clues where you can take a logical entry, right? No random entry. That is lot of people, you look at the weekly chart, let's say that is bullish, right? You want to buy the bullish candle, bullish chart, the moment it's sold out for 2 days, you can buy anywhere here, right? You can buy here, anywhere you can buy it, assume. But will you be able to hold on as it keeps on selling, right? So you look for the clues. This is just for the sake of example, we are explaining. This is one clue where using this you could take an entry. Okay? Obviously that will be challenging. That's not going to be as easy as we are seeing it here. As you are trading on the live these days, the moment you see bullish candle, you still might be doubting. But the advantage is the stop loss is very close. If the market proves you wrong, you will only lose maybe 3, 4, 5 points. But if your trade is right, you will get 10, 15, 20, doesn't matter. Odds will be in your favor. And there is a logic behind why you are taking this trade, right? Now what do you see here? This is a bearish engulfing candle, right? This specific day, it opened high, went all the way high, and sold aggressively. Look at the volume here, right? Let's say, for example, you are holding a long position in this State Bank of India. The moment you see this candle, it is trying to tell you something loud and clear. Now you don't have to ask anybody, should I exit from State Bank of India or not? The moment you see this candle, with this such volume, something happened. Something changed during the day. So the price is decided to change. Okay? And the price, so you should be looking for an exit somewhere here. If you are holding a long position, you can exit here. Or the moment it goes below this point, you can go short. Obviously, remember, when you go short, logically, your stop loss should be above this price. Logically, above this price. If you keep somewhere here, probably you will be stopped out. Okay? Eventually, you got proven right. Okay? What do you see here? This is an example of this is, what is it? Anybody? 3 candle formation, right? Evening star, right? What do you see here? Okay. It is a bullish hammer formation, right? So the day you see bullish, let me revise this. The moment you see a high volume day with a bullish hammer formation, remember guys, what the price is telling is more important than is it exactly a hammer or not. Doesn't matter. It cannot be exactly a hammer, but you try to analyze what happened during the day. I mean, can you derive any conclusion from this specific price action? This was bullish, slight pullback. You are looking for an entry. Where can you enter, right? Can you enter here, 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 here? The moment you see the reversal with a huge volume, it is trying to tell bulls can be taking control from here on. So you can look for an entry here, keep a stop loss here, assume it will go up. Okay? Let's move forward. So, okay. So we discussed about the candles, right? Now let's discuss about the trend. Now minute ago we discussed, we said that weekly chart was saying bullish, monthly chart was saying bullish, right? How do you decide? SBI or any chart, right? You just came across some random stock. You don't know nothing about it. Okay? You know nothing about it. You don't know about anything about their fundamentals also. What do they do? How well they are performing? Doesn't matter, right? The moment you look at a chart, first try a top-down approach. Remember we talked about the time frame, daily, weekly, monthly. Try to analyze top-down approach. First look at the monthly chart, then with the weekly chart, mostly weekly chart, then go to the daily chart, then intraday chart. Intraday chart for taking a position, right? So now the trend, what is the trend? How to decide if it is a bullish chart or bearish chart? What is the trend? Is it bullish trend or a bearish trend? How do you decide, right? You draw a trend line. I'm assuming everybody knows it, just in case. If you have never used the trend line before, right? What is it? What is a bullish trend? A bullish trend, obviously it is going up, right? Going from down to up. Okay, but how do you know if it is a bullish trend? You draw a trend line joining the lowest point. Try to join as many as can. Okay, and draw a trend line on the downside, on the upside, right? You see a beautiful channel forming here. You see Bharat Forge weekly chart. This is a weekly chart. Okay, so each candle is representing what happened during a specific week. Okay, so you can figure out what the specific hammer is, where the hammer is, right? Those will give you an entry. But the first thing is you look for the trend in the chart. If the Bharat Forge is weekly chart saying you the bullish, what do you look for? You look for a bullish entry. You want to take a long entry. Now where do you take the long entry? Again you can depend on that. You draw a trend line here. Now when this is selling to the trend line, now here two things working in your favor. Okay, this sell-off coming to the trend line. When it is coming to the trend line, you see a hammer forming here, right? That is telling that might be bull taking charge again. So you can keep a stop loss below that hammer to take, and hopefully if it works in your favor, right? This is a weekly chart picture. You can apply this to daily chart, 15-minute chart, 5-minute chart, doesn't matter, right? So you draw trend line. One thing to be mentioned here is, what we need to know is, bullish trend, each time it moves up, high, the high will be higher than the previous high. This is the previous high, right? Okay. Now in the next up move, the high will overcome the previous high and the higher high will be formed, right? In the next pullback, okay, the low form will be higher than the previous low. This will be higher low. Anywhere you look at, right, how the trend is defined, bullish trend is higher low, higher high form, right? Now during the next bounce back, a high will be formed, higher high, right? Now again during the next pullback, a higher low will be formed, right? During the next upsurge, higher high will be formed. Let's assume, just for the sake of argument, assume you take a long position here, right? Just for the sake of example, you took a long position here, okay? Higher high form, higher low form. Do you exit here? Higher high form, higher low form. Where do you exit, right? As long as this trend line is respected, you could stay in the trade. Whether it can be 5-minute chart, 15-minute chart, doesn't matter, right? The moment the trend is broken, something has changed in the market, you are getting a bearish signal, the trend is broken, right? You look for an exit. It is saying that, okay, the bullish trend, this is the, now here, higher low, right? Now as the trend is continuing, higher lows are formed, okay? Now the moment this pullback is coming, this is not higher low, this is an equal low, right? This is equal low, you should be careful. Something might be changing in this price action, okay? In the next pullback, this low has been broken, right? The moment this low has been broken, you will be looking to exit your long position because the trend has changed. This is a uptrend, bullish trend, whatever you like to call it. Downtrend, right? Opposite to the uptrend, downtrend. Now, how do you define the downtrend? Each time a low form, right? The low will be lower than the previous low. This is the low form here. Now the bounce back. The next low will be breaking this low. Okay, this low is being broken. A lower low is formed. Okay. This high will be, this bounce back will not reach this point. A lower high is formed. Right? Again the bounce back. This high is not able to break this, right? This is a lower high. Okay. Now the low has taken down the previous low. Okay, a lower low. The trend is continuing on the low side. Okay, every down move is taking down the previous low, is going even lower. But on the bounce back, the weak bounce back, it will not be able to take the upside. Right? So the highs are lower than the previous low, previous highs. The lows are lower than the previous lows. So lower lows, lower highs. On the uptrend, higher highs, higher lows. Right? At the moment this trend is broken, let's assume you have taken a short trade somewhere, right? You look to exit. The trend has been broken decisively here. Look at the volume. The trend has been broken decisively. We don't have to know what exactly happened in the fundamentals, right? Might be the earnings results are good, or new CEO came into the picture, doesn't matter. Chart is telling you it is done going down, at least for now, it is done going down. There might be some more consolidation here, doesn't matter where it goes from here. You can look to exit your position. This is uptrend and downtrend. Obviously, the consolidation. Okay. The third phase of the market, uptrend, downtrend. Between those two will be the consolidation, or also known as sideways movement. Right. What is the difference here? All the highs are equal here. Right. This is the high. This is the example Torrent Power taken. This is the high. These highs are equal. Right. This high is not higher than the previous high or even the lower than the previous high. Equally, all these highs are equal. Okay, every movement it is going to the previous high and coming back. Previous high and coming back. So what do you conclude? There is no established trend here. It is going between the same high, same lows, right? Even the lows are equal lows, right? So it is consolidating. There is no specific trend here. There is no uptrend or there is no specific downtrend. It is consolidating for now. Until the further information comes in, it will decide upon whether to break out or break down from here. Okay? So we don't look to take a position here until you are trading between those two. Right? Again here, equal highs, equal lows. This is Tata Chemical. All these charts are taken on this Friday. So this is current market information. Right? So equal lows. This is Tata Chemical. Now, what can you say now? Tata Power after this bullish chart is consolidating now. I assume this is all these are weekly charts. Okay. So on the weekly chart, what is Tata Power selling? It is consolidating for now. Whether it will break out or break down, we will come to know. Once this price point is taken out, we will come to know, right? If it is breaking out, we look for taking a long position. Breaking down, we look to take a short position. Same here, this is Tata Chemical on the weekly chart, consolidating for now. This is a sideways trend, right? So any chart you try to analyze first, you look at the weekly chart, and you quickly come to conclusion. Doesn't matter what chart it is, whether it is the uptrend, whether it is a sideways trend, or consolidating, or whether it is going down. So if you know on the higher time frame, decide upon the trend first. Let's say, for example, the chart you are looking at is uptrend, right? Okay. Then you come to the lower time frame, come to the daily chart or even the intraday chart. Let's assume the weekly chart is uptrend, and now you look at the daily chart, right? Let's say the daily chart also telling you the same story, that uptrend is continuing on the daily chart also. Okay. Now you look at the intraday chart. You look for long positions, right? The wind is behind you. Weekly chart is telling I am going up. Daily chart is telling that I am going up. Now intraday chart, you don't look for short position. In this specific chart, the trend has been already established, right? From that you conclude, you look for an intraday chart, either a 5-minute chart or a 15-minute chart. You look for the hammer formation. You look for the bullish engulfing candle, or look for the morning star, or any other logic you follow, right? Using the technical analysis, you look for a long trend. If the established trend on the weekly chart is down, daily chart is down, obviously you look for a short entry using the intraday time frame. So always try to be in the direction of that specific chart. Always look for the higher time frame and what the chart is telling you. Okay, and then try to trade in that direction. Go with the flow, right? Bowling should be done in the direction of the wind. The wind will be behind you, right? Even if your entry point is not right, since the wind is behind you, most probably you will be on the winning side. But if the daily chart is telling down, weekly chart is telling down, if you want to go long on intraday, odds are not in your favor. Okay, so always know what the higher time frame chart is telling before trading intraday. It can be done within a minute. As you get experience, right, you can quickly open, come to a conclusion what those charts are telling, right? So now so far what we have covered is candles, then the trend lines, right, uptrend, downtrend, sideways trend. Now we have analyzed different candle types and trends, and using that we will talk about the different chart forms, chart patterns. Now what are the chart patterns? Different chart patterns. There are many out there. Okay, I will try to quickly discuss the main chart patterns You will see them every day. Okay. The very end, these are very simple chart patterns. But just using these, you can trade and be profitable, provided you trade with the proper discipline. First one is the double bottom. What is double bottom? Obviously, the name itself is telling you that double bottom, right? It is forming a double bottom. What happened previously? Again, the chart patterns we are discussing now also referred as reversal patterns, right? This pattern is telling you that market could be reversing from this point onwards. Okay. What happened here? This is a trend line. This is a trend line. This trend line is telling you that lower high is formed, right? This is a lower high. This is a lower high. Okay. Again, here a lower low, right? Lower low. Again, here lower low formed here. Okay. Now, when this came up to the trend line, okay, when this came up to the trend line, it reversed. This next low couldn't break below the previous low. All this time, the trend is down, but this next low couldn't break below this low. Okay, this next low couldn't break below this low. This is an equal low now. No more lower low. This is an equal low, right? This itself should give you a hint. All this time it was a lower low, but here this price couldn't go any more below than the previous low. This is already giving you a hint. If you are very quick in taking a decision, you can already anticipate a double bottom forming and take an entry. Okay, if you are little more experienced, you can already anticipate a trend change, and you can take an entry here, or you can wait until market giving you proper indication saying that this downtrend is done with. Okay, let me always wait until market giving you exactly telling you that this downtrend is here broken, right? Now here it has breaking up from this high. All this time these are all the lower highs, right? Now this high is being broken here, right? This high is being broken here. Okay. So now look at the formation here. What happened here? Beautiful double bottom has formed. Okay. So the moment it is broken up, downtrend is broken. Okay. A higher high could be expected here. All this time lower lows. Now you are expecting a higher high. All this time lower high. Now you are expecting a higher high. The moment you see a higher low, right? All this time these are the lower lows, equal low. Now a higher low is forming here, right? Look for an entry here. Whatever the distance from the bottom to the top, okay? This is a measured target. You can expect the same distance will be moved on the upside. This target you can anticipate. Okay, so if you are taking an entry here, this much target you can anticipate just by this formation. This is a beautiful double bottom. You will see this pretty much most of the charts, double bottom. But what we do is these are all the very simple basics of technical analysis. But as we progress, we try to make this technical analysis as complicated as possible, and we'll make our trading as complicated as possible. But we try to keep it as simple as possible. Then your entries exits will be very simple. Opposite to that is double top is double bottom. Opposite to that is double top. What is it? Double top is telling you pretty self-explanatory, right? The trend is up now. The trend is up so far. Higher lows are formed, right? Okay, this is a higher high. This is a higher high. Okay, so the next swing, obviously, if the bullish trend is continuing, it should break and make a higher high, right? Okay, if the bullish trend is continuing, it should be making a higher high. But what happened here? It stopped exactly at this point. Okay, you can anticipate this. If this is reversing, let's assume here you see a shooting star, right? Now you see the first high here. You are looking at the formation of a shooting star. What it is telling you, market could be reversing from here, right? So you can anticipate there will be no higher high this next swing high. So you can take a short position here, right? Or wait until the double top, right? This low, let it take down. Okay. Remember, these formations are complete only when once it takes down the previous low. Only then you can say with confidence this uptrend has been broken, right? You cannot, okay, you can anticipate here, but you cannot right away tell the trend has changed. You can tell that only when this low is being broken, then you can anticipate the change of trend. Okay, so let it break it first. Okay, on any pullback, this is the ideal entry for a short. Okay, expecting a target. What is the target? Again, the same as the double bottom, right? Exactly whatever this distance is from the top to bottom, you can expect the same distance for it to move downwards. So that is the target you can expect. Okay, I'll try to run through. It's a lot of time here. So double top, double bottom. Those are the reversal patterns, right? That where you can anticipate the reversal in the market. Next one is the head and shoulder. Okay, kind of similar to this, slightly different. Head and shoulder. Obviously, from the name again, you can figure out there is one head. You can see the shoulders. Now, what is it? What is happening here? See, the name doesn't matter. You always try to analyze what is happening in the price. Okay. So, if you understand what is happening in the price, remember when you say double bottom, it doesn't have to be exactly double bottom. But if you can understand what is happening in the price, right? Okay. Now it is. The new low is not lower than this, and the high can be higher than this. That is the price action you should understand. In the practical day-to-day world, it cannot be exactly a double bottom. But whatever the shape it takes, right? Whatever the little bit different shape it takes, but from that shape you can figure out the price action. What is the price action is trying to tell you? The price action is telling you that it is done going down. The opposite in the case of double top. Okay. Now what is happening here? It is an uptrend, higher low, higher low, higher low, higher high, higher high, higher high, right? So here, after coming to this trend line, it has taken up, okay? But the next high, it cannot go. It will be going only equal to this, okay? So it looks like a shoulder, head, and shoulder. You also see this many times, especially on the weekly chart, when the market is topping out or bottoming out. Opposite to this, inverse head and shoulder. Okay, let's just for discuss this. The left shoulder is formed, a head, and the right shoulder. The moment this is called referred as a neckline. The moment the neckline is broken, right? The moment the neckline is broken, you look for a short entry. It is saying that, see, all this formation is telling you what it is telling you. This is all this price action is telling you that this uptrend kind of consolidating on the top, and market is giving you hints that it is done with going high, probably will be coming down. Okay, the moment the neckline is broken, you can look for a short position. Okay. Obviously, here the target is whatever the distance from head high to the neckline. Let's say this is 10 points, assume 10 points. So from the neckline, the target could be, you will be expecting a 10 points. Let's say this is 200, right? This will be 210. So obviously, if you go short at 200, you will be expecting a target of 190. Remember, this is just a target. Don't exactly assume it will reach 190, but you will get a rough estimation of where you can expect the market to go. Okay. Here you can keep a stop loss somewhere here, or even better to be on the safe side, the stop loss should be higher than the right shoulder. Okay. This is opposite to the previous one. Head and shoulder, that is the top formation. It is telling you market has stopped, or the stock, whatever the equity or trading that has been topping out. This is quite opposite to the, exactly opposite to the previous one. This is the inverse head and shoulder. Now what it is trying to tell you, the existing trend is down. Okay. This has the next swing down has taken on the previous low. Okay, it came back, but the next swing, okay, couldn't take down the previous low. Okay, it came pretty close to. It doesn't have to be exact. Pretty close to the left shoulder. This is the right shoulder. This is the head. Opposite to the head and shoulder. This is the inverse head and shoulder. Okay, so the moment this neckline is broken on the upside, you can anticipate whatever the distance from head to the neckline. Let's say this is 20 points. That means the moment it is broken to the upside, you can anticipate a 20 points upside from the neckline. Okay. Again, these names, don't get bogged down with the names. Try to understand what is happening in the price action. Very simple. Downtrend, you can see. Now this low downtrend has been broken, right? That is the first point you will notice. Downtrend has been broken. Okay. It came to the previous high. Now the equal high form, right? The next low couldn't be lower than the previous low. That is a hint, isn't it? The moment it is broken, the trend has changed. This is a bottoming out formation. This is a beautiful bottoming out formation. You will see many times across many charts, especially on the weekly chart, even on the daily chart. Okay, will be giving a hint that this is stock is bottoming out. Now, when you are looking for an entry for the long term, right, you will be looking for these hints, either it is a double bottom or the inverse head and shoulder. Those chart formations to give you a hint that the trend is changing, market is consolidating, and looking for a change of trend. Okay. Now the double top, double bottom is done. Head and shoulder is done, right? Flag and pendant formation. The previous two we have discussed are the reversal pattern. Okay, the previous two are the reversal pattern. Now this is the continuation formation. What do you mean by that? Whatever the existing trend is, right, you are anticipating the trend to continue. Okay, the flag formation, what is it? Obviously from the name you can figure out, it looks like a flag. You see a pole, okay, then you see a flag. What does it mean? The price has moved. I mean, it doesn't have to be straight. It could be something similar like this. Don't exactly look for is it straight or slant, how slant it is. It doesn't matter. You try to understand what is happening in the price point, right? So it is moving up. After moving up, what is happening is it is consolidating on the higher side. Okay. Let's say, for example, this is 20. It moved all the way to 30. Okay. Now it is not coming back all the way down. It is staying. Let's say, for example, this is 28. Okay. So it is staying between 28 and 30, consolidating for some time. It is like taking rest after a big marathon or a big run, right? A sprint. After a sprint, it is taking rest here. The moment it breaks out, you expect it to continue, right? The bull run to continue. Okay, this is a flag formation. Okay, this is a bull flag, obviously. Okay, the same flag on the bearish side is the bearish flag. Okay, so the price moved down. On the downside, it is consolidating. Okay, after some consolidation, the moment price breaks down below that, okay, you can anticipate the bearish run to continue. So bullish flag, bearish flag. Similar to this is the pennant formation. Okay, pennant is nothing but it's like a triangle. Okay, this is the flag, parallel lines. In the flag, there are parallel lines. In the pennant, you see a triangle. What does it mean? The price after the obviously after the initial swing up, okay, it came down, going up. So this low is lower than this. So this high is lower than this. This low is higher than this. So it is consolidating here in this pennant formation. Okay. So the moment it breaks out, you can anticipate the continuation of the chart. Bullish run to continue. It is similar, slight difference in how it is consolidating. That's the only difference. In the consolidation part, how it is consolidating is the only slight difference. Okay. So you don't have to worry about whether it is a flag or pennant. All you have to understand is after this bull run, it is consolidating. It is not selling up. It is not rapidly selling up or rapidly coming down. It is taking rest here. That is a good sign. Taking rest after the big run, then it can charge for the next higher. So obviously, this is on the downside, right? If you are very new to stock market or very new to technical analysis, probably little bit daunting initially, but let's say after few minutes, few times, these are very basics of technical analysis. If you understand what is exactly happening in the price, you don't bother about the names, always. Anything similar to the price pattern, you will be able to figure out on the chart. And this is just an example of how the flag is formed. You see, you don't see a straight pole here, right? But this is consolidation. Consolidation after consolidation, it is breaking out. Okay. Yeah, I forgot to mention again. The target is, let's say, this pole. The height is, this is from 28 to 38, right? So this pole is 10 points. So once it is breaking out from here, you can anticipate 10-point move. So that means 38 to 48. The target you can keep is 48, but don't exactly look for 48. But that is the anticipation. Earlier, the double top, double bottom, inverse head and shoulder, all those are the reversal patterns, right? The market is, the trend is changing. The previous one, which is flag and pennant, both are the continuation formation. The trend is continuing, right? The trend is continuing. This is another chart pattern, which is ascending triangle. Okay. Now, what is happening here in the ascending triangle? See here, the trend is continuing, right? But every swing up going to the previous high, but every swing down is higher than the previous high. So the next swing high is same as the previous one. Okay? But the swing down is higher than the previous low. Okay, this is higher low. Higher low. So you try to understand what is happening in the price action. When it is going up, it still cannot take out the previous high. These highs are equal. But when it is coming down, the base energy is not enough to take it lower further. So higher low is formed. So basically it is kind of a consolidation here. Okay? But eventually it will gather enough energy to break up. Okay, it will gather enough energy because the bear cannot take it down any further. The bear on every swing down cannot take it any further. Okay, eventually this resistance will be taken out. Okay, we will continue. This is it. Obviously, from the look of it, this is a triangle ascending. So ascending triangle, ascending formation. So it's called ascending triangle. Got it. Opposite to that, obviously this is pretty self-explanatory, right? I don't think I need to explain this. Quickly, this is on the downside. Every swing down, going to the previous low, but high cannot be taken out, right? High cannot be taken out. Every high, so lower high, lower high. So each high is lower than the previous one. Okay. So eventually, it will gather enough energy. It will break down. Eventually, after some time, eventually it will break down. So we look for an entry here to go short. Again, this is previous trend is down. We are anticipating it. The moment it breaks down, it continues. Right. So this is a descending triangle. Right. Earlier ascending triangle. This is a descending triangle. Next one is this is another formation, cup with handle. Looks like the price action. Looks like a round bottom. This is actually similar. This is another pattern called round bottom. Looks like that. Pretty similar to that. A round bottom is formed. Okay. It won't take out immediately. The moment this bottom is formed, it won't take out initially. It's kind of like a flag formation. A handle will be formed. Okay. So it consolidates here. What is happening here? Basically, after this move up all the way from down, it is consolidating at the higher point till it gathers enough energy, eventually breakout. Looks similar to the cup and handle. So the formation is called a cup and handle. The name doesn't matter. Always try to understand what is happening in the price action. Is the bulls are in charge or who is in control of the market? Right? That is what you try to figure out. Next. So now we're done with the chart pattern. This I like to, those who are trading intraday, right? Look for the decision points. What are the decision points? There are certain places where market stops and decide whether to continue upside or downside. What are those points? I will call. I've seen somewhere they mentioned it as decision points. I like to term decision points. What are those decision points? If you are trading intraday, always know what is the previous day high, low, close. Previous day high, low, close. Why it is important? The moment previous day high is broken, you know that bulls are in charge. There is a chance for it to go up. The moment previous day low is broken, you will know the bears are in charge. You can take a short position and you can expect a lower low, right? So always know what is the previous day high, what is the previous day low, okay? And let's say if you are trading Nifty or Bank Nifty, the moment it comes to previous day high, always, I'm sure we are all paying attention, but if not, please do. And the pivot point. Why are these pivot points? I mean, what is the pivot point basically? This pivot point derived Again, from previous day high, low, close. It doesn't matter. Don't get daunted by this calculation. Don't even bother about this calculation. Obviously, the starting software will give you the S1, S2, R1, R2. Okay. Just know about the location. That's all matter. Okay. Using this previous day high, low, close, you will come with the daily pivot point S1, S2, R1, R2. Okay. What is the advantage? We always look for, let's say for example, previous day trend is up. Okay. Now you are looking for an entry on the long side, right? Let's say the market pull back to the daily pivot. It's called pivot point. Okay. If it is pulling back to the daily pivot, you can anticipate a reversal from there and expect the continuation. Okay. Obviously, it can be applied on the downside. If the market is in the downside, right, but pulls up to the daily pivot, you can anticipate the reversal to be continued from the daily pivot point. Okay. So always pay attention to the daily pivot point. It's like I told this to somebody in our group. I consider this like let's say you're playing football, right? In the field, there is a center line, bulls and bears. Now, who is in control during the day, right? The daily pivot point will give you an idea. You look at any chart, the instant you look at it, where it is trading compared to the pivot point, you will be able to come to a conclusion who is in charge and how good the job either bulls or bears are doing by looking at the price action. You can come to the conclusion. Okay. Note this pivot point S1, S2, R1, R2, previous day high, low, close. I feel those are very, very useful during the especially intraday trade. This is the Bank Nifty chart. This is the Friday price action, right? This blue line is the daily pivot point. Okay. This is the daily pivot point. Okay. Now this is the Friday price action. Okay. This pivot point is already drawn on the chart, right? Look at how beautifully it came all the way down. Okay. This is what? This is, let's say this is 225, 300, 75 point move upwards. Okay. The moment the daily pivot is broken down, you can be looking to take a short position. If you're not taking a short position, at least it will give you an idea that where can be taking charts from here on, right? Anything up? Look how beautifully it stopped at the S1. Okay. It is these pivot points are respected a lot of times during intraday. The previous day, this is probably Thursday. Okay, this is S1, R1, right? It broke out from the R1, came back to R1. Okay. Here this is pivot point. This is R1. Okay. Came up, reverse, came up, reverse. So please start paying attention to these pivot points. Those gives you good location for an entry during intraday. This is again for November 20th, 21st, 22nd. I haven't chosen any a random date. Okay. Moving averages. This should have been discussed along with the trend line. Along with the trend line, right? Using the trend lines, we will gauge what is the uptrend, right? Whether it is an uptrend or a downtrend, right? Similar to that, you can use the moving averages. Using those moving averages, you can tell whether you can figure out the trend. Now, what is the moving average? Most widely used are 20, 50, and 200. These are the most widely used. You can use any depending upon your experience. Some use 10 days, some use 11, some use 21, some use 100-day moving average. Doesn't matter. Okay, based on your experience, based on your comfortable level, you can use them. But these are the widely used. Now, what are those? 20-day moving average means what? Whatever the closing price of the previous 20 days, the average of that is the 20-day moving average. Okay? Here, this blue line is the 20-day moving average. Okay? This blue line is the 20-day moving average. That means at this point, the previous average of the 20 days is this price point. So using that, that gives you a nice average point. Similarly, 50 days is what? Average of the previous 50 days. Average of the previous 200 days. Okay. Now, what is the advantage of using this? Obviously, by looking at this, the 200-day moving average is what? Pretty much flat, right? Pretty much flat. That means what? You can say, directly tell the trend is sideways. Okay. Now, how well they are respected? Look at this. Came back to 200 days, came back to 200-day reverse. So, a lot of times, these moving averages will be, you can expect, you can anticipate, but don't for sure say it will be respected. You can anticipate it. Okay. Went up, came back to the 50-day moving average, went up. Right? Came to the 50-day moving average, stopped there before the further move down. Okay. Before going down, even the combinations are even better. Right? So always try to keep these moving averages on your charts. That will be price location. A better idea of the price location. This is Reliance. In the down. 50-day moving average respected here. This 50-day. So if you are playing for long, right? This is nice. Now here, after a long time, it has the selling has started here, right? The moment it has taken down, let's say if you are holding a long position, right? It gives you a beautiful exit point. Here you don't have to ask any questions. Will the market go up or down? Doesn't matter to you, right? No, you can just exit from your position, or you can take a short position. The bounce back. Look at how it bounced back to the 20-day moving average. Came back. Came to the 200-day moving average. Bounced all the way. Taken out. 20-day. Consolidating between. Again, it reversed from 50 days. Okay. Lot of times these averages are respected because mutual funds usually look at the 200-day and 50-day. Usually, for the depending upon your time frame, right? The short time frame, you will look at the 20-day moving average. For the medium time frame, you look at the 50 days. For the longer time frame, you look at the 200-day moving average. Can you guys hear me now? Hello?
Yeah, bro. Yeah.
Yes.
Carry on.
Okay. Yeah, I got disconnected.
Carry on.
Finally, I think this is the probably final chart. Right. It has taken longer than I expected. Fibonacci retracement. what is the Fibonacci retracement? These are Fibonacci numbers. 0, 1, add these two will come 1, add these two will be 2, add these two will be 3, 3 plus 2 is 5, and so on and so forth. These are called Fibonacci numbers. Using these Fibonacci numbers, there are certain ratios. This is 1.618 is called golden ratio. Okay. The reverse of this is 0.619. From this scale, doesn't matter. All these doesn't matter. Okay. All you have to remember is 61.8% retracement, 38.2% retracement. These two are the very important retracements which we will be using in the Fibonacci retracement tool. Now, what it is? What does it do? Basically, market is selling off, right? What kind of a pullback can you anticipate? Using this Fibonacci retracement, you can anticipate certain level of Fibonacci, market retracement. What do you do? Using this Fibonacci retracement tool, you will try to join from the top to the bottom. From the top here to the bottom here, you will try to join those two. It will give you the retracement. Okay, this level is the 23% retracement, 38% retracement. Look how beautifully this is the Bank Nifty daily chart. Okay, this is the Bank Nifty daily chart. Okay, now after the sell-off, okay, the initial retracement is to 38%, 38.2% retracement. Right now, after coming down, again it came back to 38.2% retracement. Eventually broke out. Now the Bank Nifty is at 50% retracement. This is again the decision point. Okay, this is again the decision point for the market. Whatever the sell-off has been done, 50% has been retraced. Will it have enough strength to break out or break down? But what is the important thing is now you know where the location of the market, where it is right now. Okay. At this point, let's say you are here, you don't know what happened, but using this Fibonacci retracement tool, by joining these two, you can anticipate either 38% to this level or 50% to this level. If the pullback is even stronger, to the 61.8, whatever this location is, whatever the price point is, approximately 26,000, maybe 900, 850. If the strength is there, it can be pullback and expected till that level. From there, again, market will decide, right? Do I need to cover Bollinger Band? Yes. Okay. Quickly go through this Bollinger Band. Now, what is this Bollinger Band? So far, we have used different types of mechanisms to figure out the market, right? This is one mechanism which uses volatility of the specific instrument. Now, what is the advantage of this over others? If you, let's say, for example, I'm using the State Bank of India or Reliance, right? Let's say I don't know these charts before, I don't know nothing about them before, right? But just opening this State Bank of India, now how State Bank of India behaves from each stock, the amount it moves are different from the other, right? Certain stocks move 1% a day, certain stocks move 2% a day, certain moves 5% a day, certain stocks even move 20% a day, right? But this volatility, this Bollinger Band try to give that information. We'll look at this chart. We'll try to understand. What it is basically doing is giving you a band. In the band, you will see a center line, which is a moving average. A center line is a moving average. Okay. Usually, by default, that moving average is the 20-day moving average. By default. Okay. Above this, you will see one band, that is the upper Bollinger Band. Below this is the second lower Bollinger Band. Upper Bollinger Band, lower Bollinger Band. How it will calculate these two? This is based on the standard deviation. It's nothing but standard deviation is nothing but you see the volatility of the specific stock. Remember, now we don't know State Bank or we don't know any stock which moves 10%, 15%, right? We don't know how violently it moves, okay? But it tries to calculate the two standard deviation. This upper Bollinger Band is above two standard deviation above the mean. This is the mean. This lower band is 2 standard deviations below the mean price. Okay? It tries to the price. It gives you what is the range. 2 standard deviation above, 2 standard deviation below. Okay? What does it mean? 2 standard deviation is approximately about, if I am not wrong, I think 68% or 63. I mean 62 or 68. I don't remember exactly, but approximately 68% of the movement will be contained in this. So that means the price will be contained. Whatever the movement, the price will be contained about 68% within this Bollinger Band. Okay, but above all these, there is one reason why I use this more is the Bollinger Band squeeze. I'll try to show you in the next slide. Okay. Now here, should I remove all this? Okay, only concentrate on blue line. Okay, the center blue line is the 20-day moving average, right? The center is the 20-day moving average. This is the upper Bollinger Band. This is the lower Bollinger Band. Okay. The main advantage of the Bollinger Band is when they squeeze, what it is telling you is consolidating. Market is consolidating. When it is squeezing, market is consolidating, gathering strength. Okay. When it moves out from that squeeze, that Bollinger Band squeeze is where you will get a bigger price band movement. Okay. This is what basically most of the time this is what I use it for. Whenever they squeeze, okay, after that squeeze, when the tighter the squeeze, the better. The tighter the squeeze, the better. From that squeeze, whichever way it breaks out, whether downward or upward, whichever way it breaks out, the movement after that will be much bigger. Basically what it is, after the sell-off, it is consolidating, then it is breaking out. You can figure that out from the price point also. Without even looking at this squeeze is telling you that the volatility is reducing, right? It is consolidating. Once it is starting to move out, you can anticipate a bigger move. This is capital first. This broke out this Friday. Again, you can anticipate continuation. I'm tired. Not able to see the chat. Okay. Sorry, but I can't help you. I don't know what could be the reason. And anyway, we're pretty much done. Trade management. Let's get into this and we'll conclude. What is trade management? See, one thing is as well, just for a few minutes we are almost done.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, bro. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. What is the trade management? See, all this time we have based on the different chart patterns. We are looking for an entry or exit, right? Now, what will you do after taking an entry? What will you do after taking an entry? How do you manage the trade, right? Depending upon your style, you stick to one of these. How do you trade? Whether, let's say, for example, just assume you are trading with 10 lots, just for the sake of example, right? How do you trade? Now you see a bullish hammer at the support, okay? Whether you enter with a 10 lot and after the price movement, you exit with the 10 lot, all in, all out, or you enter with the 10 lot, then it moved in your way, you exit 3, move further, you exit 3, it moved even further, you exit the remaining 4, or how many? 3, 6, 4, right? So this is all in, but your scaling out from your position. Booking slowly, eventually coming out of your position. Another way is scaling all out. You are not sure. Let's say, for example, you are assuming market is bottoming out, right? So you enter some here, you enter some here, you enter some here. Okay. Once the movement is done, you get out of the position. So scaling in, all out at the same place. Okay. Or you scale into the position, you buy 2 here, 2 here, 2 here, 2 here, and you exit 2, exit 2, exit 2. So try to figure out a method. You think about this even before the trading, right? You stick to one style. Okay, what I prefer is all in, scale out, but scale in, scale out is even better. If you can do that, even better. Like let's say, for example, you got an entry, it is moving out, you try to get in here, moving in, it is moving in your favor, buy some more, moving in your favor, buy some more. That is a challenge, right? What we do all the time, we enter here, the moment it moves in our favor, we exit here, right? But the Ashwini Gujrals of the world, what they do, the moment it is moving in your favor, that you know you have a winner at your hand, right? You bought 3 here, right? It is moving in your favor, add 3 more. Moving in your favor, you will add 3 more. Then you will be looking to exit. You will exit 3, exit 3, exit 3. Okay? That way, whenever you have a winner at your hand, you will try to capitalize as much as possible. So you try to figure out whichever way suits you. Okay? And finally, the trade outcome. Okay? If from this entire webinar, if you can take out this one single point. What is the point? Your trade outcome, whatever the trade you do, irrespective of the methodology you use, the outcome from the trade should be a small loss, or you come out with a scratch, or a small win is also fine. Big win is very beautiful, but your trade should never end up with big loss. Your trade should never end with big loss. If you have a big loss in your trading ledger, that means you are doing absolutely wrong. What does that mean? You didn't follow the discipline. Remember, we discussed about the hammer, we discussed about the double top, bottom, Bollinger Bands, all this will give you what? They will point you to the location for an entry, right? What is the advantage of this technical analysis? All this technical analysis will help you with a conclusion whether you can enter for long or short at certain price point. At the same time, what is the main advantage? It will also tell you where you are wrong. Let's say if you are entering here, assuming this is support, the moment this support is broken, you should be getting out. You will not be thinking, hoping, praying the God, right? You should be looking for an exit. The moment it is broken down, whatever the methodology you have chosen, if you have chosen the hammer, the moment hammer is broken down, you get out. You don't ask questions. You take a small loss. You can always recover from this small loss. You can always recover from this crash. Of course, small wins and big wins are even better. But never have a big loss. It's very, very difficult to recover from a big loss. Okay. Now, why it is tough to recover from a big loss? Let's say, for example, your trading capital is 10 lakh, right? Yeah. If you lose 5% of trading sum, right? To recover, you have to make back 5.3%. But if you lose only 10% of your account, to recover, you have to make 11%. If you lose 15%, you have to make back 17.6. Okay? So till this point, it is fine. If you lose this much, pretty easily you can bounce back when market is in your favor. But why big loss will kill you? The moment it gets bigger and bigger, right? If your loss is 25%, if you lose 25% of your capital, that means 10 lakhs become 7.5. Okay. By intuition, we might be thinking, oh, I lost 25%. If I make 25% on my capital, I will be break even, right? But the simple math is, if you lose 25%, you have to make 33% to come to just break even itself. You are not even talking about profits. To get break even level, you have to make that 33%. That is the simple math. Nobody teaches this. If you lose 50% of this capital, right, 10 lakhs will become what? 5 lakhs. Okay? You lost only 50%. But to break even from 5 lakhs, you have to come back to double that. You have to make 100%. How did? So your account should never go down more than this. If it goes down more than this, it will be tougher and tougher and tougher to come back. So always follow discipline, strict stop loss. Never have a big loss in your account. If you can learn just one simple thing, no big loss. Okay? If you can just do this, eventually you will figure out a way to make money. Okay? Eventually you will figure out a way to make money. But you have to avoid. Why it is difficult? The moment it goes down 5%, you hope and pray it will come back. You can easily make money, right? The moment it goes down to 10%, you will hope and pray it will come back. You will break even. You don't want to take a loss. Nobody wants to take a loss, right? Nobody wants to take a loss. But easy thing is taking a small loss and move on to the next trade, making it back. But the moment it goes down big, 50%, 20, 30%, bouncing back from that level will be very, 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 very difficult. Now, everybody will be looking for what is the one indicator should I use? What is the one chart I should be looking at? What is one thing? Please tell me mantra, right? What is the mantra? How can I succeed in the trading? Learn to think in the terms of probability. You look at the hammer, you look at the double top, you look at the double bottom, universal head shoulder, Bollinger Bands, RSI, MACD, doesn't matter, whatever you look at, right? That will only give you an entry with a certain probability. There is a 70% chance that you will make money. There is a 75% chance you will make money. There is no 100% chance. Never ever. Okay? There is no never. If you think in this term, what will be the problem? If you think my next trade I'm going to take, I will be having a big winner or a small winner. 100%. If you are 100% sure, what happens? The moment it goes down, you won't exit. Because your mind is made up already that you have a 100% winner. You know, God, I'm sure that you are going to have a winner. You don't feel like exiting because you think you have a 100% winner. So that's why we look to think in probability. Okay? There is only 70% chance that it can be a winner. What does that mean? There is always a chance market can prove you wrong. You can always go wrong. Market can always prove you wrong. Whenever it proves you wrong, you exit immediately. Take the small loss. Take the hit. Try for some time. Move on. But if you take a big hit, your account will not be left to trade any further. Okay? You cannot recover easily. Okay? Any trade you trade should have an edge. No random entry. Any entry should be based on certain logic. Certain logic should be there why you are taking an entry there. That is your edge. Okay? That's where your edge will be. See, anybody can buy anywhere, anybody can sell anywhere, right? But the location you are entering should give you certain edge. The edge will increase your probability. The probability will be 70%, 75%, 80%. But you have certain edge that it can be a winner. Okay? This is one thing. Second thing is risk reward. Now we looked at the hammer or whatever, right? Anything you look at. What is the advantage there? Your risk is very small here. What is the main advantage? If it is broken down, you will exit here. The risk is only this much, but the reward is higher. Okay? So you lose only 5, probably you will gain maybe 10, 15, 20, 25, doesn't matter. The higher the reward, that will be even better. Okay? So when you are entering into the trade, you should have a certain edge, higher probability trade, and your risk reward should be in your favor. Only these two things matter more than anything else. More than anything else. Irrespective of whatever the indicator you come across, no indicator in this world will give you a 100% trade. Yeah, certain people try to fool you, sell you something, saying that this will give you 100% random, 100% trade. The moment somebody says 100%, ask him, will he sell his house and put entire his money in that specific trade because he's 100% sure, right? Nobody is 100% sure when you are taking a trade. It's only high probability trade, 70, 60, 75, 80. There's always a certain chance that you are going wrong. When you're wrong, you exit, take the small loss, move on to the next trade, or wait for the next trade. Patience, right? I think I might have missed some slide. Okay. I'm done. Hope you all got something to look at.